When did things start going south with the gimmick?
That gimmick only didn't last very long. Um, so it's now I'm hearing that GLAAD, Gay and Lesbians Against Defamation and Degradation from San Francisco, is threatening to sue Ted Turner and Time Warner because we're inciting violence on gay people. Right? So,
You, I didn't, you were, huh?
yeah, so they're there, right? So I get flown in, and I think it was Rupt Arena, I think, and they said, the gimmick's too hot. We're gonna have to squash this gimmick, and we're gonna have you go out and lose the disco tonight. But don't wear your pigtails, don't wear your flashy stuff. And Kevin's like they're not gonna know it's Lenny Lane. I mean, what? So basically they just didn't have me on TV and said Psychosis beat me, and that was it.
Right.
And that was it. And that's how the gimmick kind of came to an end. And so the savior of WCW, Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara, are coming to town. And so we go in, and I think we met them in New Orleans, and they love us. And they go, we got to change your look. So Lodi cut his hair, and I dyed my hair black. Still know it's Lenny and Lodi. You guys are going to be standards and practices, right? The stuff that looks over, it's like a rib, right? The thing that got us
Right.
very well kicked off of TV, we're
Right.
now them. And you see the Nitro girls, they're about to get cut. Pick one of those girls to be your secretary. See, Stacy Keibler always thinks Terry Taylor got her that job. Lodi and I picked her only because she was dating David Flair at the time, and I liked David. David
Right.
brought me to his father and told him I was his favorite wrestler. And I was just looking at him in this moment going, David, your dad's Ric Flair, and you just told him I'm your favorite wrestler? Because David, remember, lived in Minnesota. He used to go to the indie shows.
Okay.
So when he seen me there, he goes, Dad, this is the guy I was telling you about from Minnesota. He's my favorite wrestler. And I go, and I could see Rick's look on his face, and I was like, oh boy, you don't say that to your dad, who's Ric Flair, right?
Right.
But I love
Right.
David. So we told Stacy Keibler that she was going to, do our thing, and that's how it all started. They gave us a company credit card. We went out and me and Lodi bought 2 new suits and $1,500 suits, dude, shoes, sunglasses. We had the Time Warner credit card, dude, and she bought herself a suit. One of their handlers brought us out and paid for everything, and that's how. And our big debut, right? We're gonna make a big impact. Crowbar and David Flair are gonna beat you up in the ring. Nothing against David Flair and Crowbar. But when you're telling me we're going to make a huge impact, it's not the huge impact I'm thinking. And why are we getting beat up?
Right.
So that was kind of, Lodi was confused by it. I really, at this point, don't give a shit. At least we're in a new gimmick. We're going to try to do this. And
Right.
dude, Lodi was, Stacy can probably credit Lodi for getting on her about her diet and stuff like that because, we used to come down and practice stuff beforehand. Because remember, she'd always stamp up on the table and dance and get everybody's attention,
Right.
and either we would win or lose or whatever. She would sit on that table, and dude, she had cellulite all over her legs. Dude, Lodi would get on her like hardcore, like almost, she'd be crying just about. I go, dude, you got to relax on this girl a little bit. He'd go, no, fuck her. She's going to be on TV. She needs to look the part, blah, blah, blah. I go, yeah, I guess you're kind of right. And so, yeah, he kind of got on her about that kind of stuff.
When I had Lodi on, I said, "What do you think of Stacy Keibler?" He says, "I could not wait to get away from her. She knew nothing about wrestling. We would tell her, jump up on the apron when you see
Yeah.
the Frankensteiner, and she'd jump
Yeah.
up when it was a snapmare." And he said he could not wait to get away from Stacy Keibler. How
Yeah.
did you feel about her?
I didn't, I didn't care, until you watch back on the thing and talk and all, nobody's even talking about the Mamalukes in the ring with us or standards and practices. So yeah, it didn't last long. because then Russo left because nobody was listening to him. Kevin Sullivan comes up to us and says, "Hey, do you guys want to wear suits and do that kind of stuff anymore?" I go, "No." He goes, "What do you guys want to do?" I go, "I want to be what we do best. We chase rats and party." So he goes, "Okay, you guys can do that." So we wore club clothes now, and now we're called Excess for 1 week, but we can't be Excess because after they called us Excess on TV, a company, dirt bike company, came in and said, "You can't have that name, it's ours, blah, blah, blah." So, hey, you got to come up with a new name. How about you be Idle, which is Lodi backwards, and you just be
Mhm.
Lane. Okay, Lane and Rave. So we did that for a little bit until finally they got rid, they cut Lodi loose. And and he got mad at me because Russo said, "What I'm going to do with you, Lenny, is I'm going to put you in for 1 month. You're going to sit in the crowd and hold a use me sign." Lodi carried the sign.
Right.
I guess I'm thinking differently from a fan holding to a sign to a guy coming who's in the business holding a sign. So I get where he was hot. I really do. But so I'm in the crowd with use me signs, and they would bring that up every once in a while. And that first night he called me, dude, he was messed up, and dude, I'm hot, right? And he's yelling at me and shit. And I'm like going, what is going on here? You know what I mean? They're telling me to do this,
Yeah, you
right?
do what you're told. Yeah.
It's exactly what I'm doing. So I get it, right? So I do that for a Monday night, a Thursday night. Then the next Monday, I'm not on. Well, I'm going to go down to Florida and visit my buddy Mike Moran from Disorderly Conduct, Texas Hangman. He's one of my good friends. So I'm down in Florida, and all of a sudden I get a call on a Sunday. "Hey, we got a ticket for you to come to Thunder." And I go, "I'm in Florida. I'm not even home." "Well, you better be up here because I think this was the day before. I think it was like on a Wednesday.
Mhm.
I go, "I don't even have my gear." He goes, "Well, you better get here." So I get in there and I remember getting on the on the rental car bus going, and Disco's on there going, "You got a match tonight." So now he's made his way into the booking committee. I
Okay.
go, "Dude, I don't even have any clothes I don't have my stuff. I don't have a match." He goes, "Why would you be?" And so then we were in the booking room, right? And I'm telling Terry Taylor and all this. Vince Russo's not even there. He goes, "Why would you be unprepared to wrestle if for the last week you've held a use me sign or the last two things you?" I said, "Because we were supposed to build this character up, unlike WCW does. Now I don't even want to be here anymore. And really, truly, I don't care if I'm in WCW. I've got I'll get back to that after this, but I've got a little bit of interest up from New York,
Okay.
right? So get rid of me. I don't care. I'll go up there. Who knows?" So, um, I said, "Well, I've got jeans. I got an Empire shirt because Mike was the bouncer at Empire Bar in Ybor City. So they gave me a shirt. So I cut the sleeves off it, had my tennies on, and was in a match with the Jerry the Wall in a tables match. Whoever went through the table got fired. The other one got
Okay.
hired. I won the match, never to be seen again. He got put into the MIA, with Lash LaRue and
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I won the match, and it was like
That was your last match.
that was my last match with WCW.